Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon to our friends in Ireland and in Europe. And there may even be one or two people down under in Australia and New Zealand watching at 4 in the morning. So
Or maybe even later.
maybe even later. But lovely to see you all here. Now I can turn on Mihaal's mute button as well. There you go.
Hello, everybody. It's really great.
So we'll start with our little prayer again, if you're on for that. So you take your little match and bring in the light of this day, the light of this day, Friday, which is the day of the throat chakra. And so the day of communication, self-expression, truth, personal truth. And so we light our candle with that, sending the flame up onto the sun, onto the moon, that same sun, the same moon that we all see and that unites us. And the trillions of galaxies out there, and there are 3 trillion galaxies out there. So we'll start again by blessing our mouths. Blessing. I'll be coming back to that later on, because we'll be blessing each other as we go our ways, our separate ways later on. So you can remember this for your own little ritual in the mornings, and tomorrow, being yours, the third eye, or I like to think of it as a third ear chakra. And then, of course, Sunday being the crown chakra. So we'll start. Lord, open my lips, and my mouth shall declare your praise.
Lord, open my lips, and my mouth shall declare your praise.
Lord, open my lips, and my mouth shall declare your praise.
Lord, open my lips, and my mouth shall declare your praise.
Lord, open my lips, and my throat shall declare your praise.
Lord, open my lips, and my throat shall declare your praise.
Our opening prayer is taken from the Hadith Qudsi, which is the Islam sayings that were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. Allah says, "Take one step towards me. I will take 10 steps towards you. Walk towards me. I will run towards you." Prayer of Saint Anselm. O Lord my God, teach my heart this day where and how to see you, where and how to find you. You have made me and remade me, and you have bestowed on me all the good things I possess. And still, I do not know you. I have not yet done that for which I was made. Teach me to seek you, for I cannot seek you unless you teach me, or find you unless you show yourself to me. Let me seek you in my desire. Let me desire you in my seeking. Let me find you by loving you. Let me love you when I find you. Let us pray now that we, in this silence, that we can hear what the divine is saying to us at this time, that we can forget the longings, the desires that we have ourselves, but offer them in this silence to the divine, knowing that the divine hears our needs far more eloquently than our words could ever declare. Our scripture reading is from Matthew. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring worries of its own. Today's trouble is enough for today. Our psalm is the wonderful shepherding psalm. The Lord is my shepherd.
The
Lord is my shepherd.
There is nothing I shall want.
There is nothing I shall want.
Fresh and green are the pastures.
Fresh and green are the pastures,
Where God gives me repose.
Where God gives me repose.
You have prepared a banquet for me.
you have prepared a banquet for me.
In the sight of my friends.
In the sight of my friends.
My head you have anointed with oil.
My head you have anointed with oil.
My cup is overflowing.
My cup is overflowing.
Surely goodness and kindness shall follow us.
Surely goodness and kindness shall follow us
All the days of our lives.
All the days of our lives.
In the Lord's own house shall we dwell.
In the Lord's own house shall we dwell
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Our final prayer is from the Jewish liturgy. Lord, we praise you for cities and towns, factories and farms, flowers and trees, sea and sky. Lord, we praise you for the world and its beauty, for family and friends, neighbours and cousins. Lord, we thank you for friendship and love, for kind hearts, smiling faces, and helping hands. Lord, we praise you for those who care for others, for commandments that teach us how to live. Lord, we thank you for those who help us to understand your laws and for making us one family on earth, the children of the one blessed God. Lord, we praise you, who made all people different, yet alike. Amen.
Amen.
So this is your time now to talk to us. We can't talk to everybody, but Owen is there monitoring, as he has been doing so splendidly all week. And if you just indicate that you might like to speak to us.
I was thinking,
Owen is our moderator, even though he does nothing in moderation.
I was thinking, the phrase came to me this morning, and this is the thing that I've been thinking for the week: that necessity is the mother of all invention. Necessity is the mother of all invention. And Noreen, you're the mother of the two of us. So
Invention is a nice word for me. A very nice word.
invention, yeah. To invent, ventus. It's a is the wind in Latin.
Mm-hmm.
So to blow the spirit, you know, and spirit is breath, and the wind are often congruous metaphors. So there's something at this time too, and especially coming up to Easter. This is the time for new beginnings, and necessity is the mother of these new beginnings, this coming of the Holy Spirit. So if there is something, I was hit today, this is the time to really lean into something that we want to really look at in ourselves, something that we need to let go of, something that can be that can re-emerge, that perhaps maybe existed in our lives in the past that we've forgotten about, that can re-emerge, you know. And it can be something as simple, I've heard and I've seen people online return to, you know, crafts and craft making, you know, when they're teaching their kids and everything. It's a beautiful time to return and resurrect something that you perhaps have forgotten about or let go of.
So this is your time to vent your
Vent.
opinion.
Yeah,
Outvent.
Invent or vent them, and to share with us.
Yeah, so we were thinking, so there's like, do we still have, yeah, we have up around 80 people. It's amazing. We've had about 80 people on every call. So if someone just wants to put in the chat to just share really openly about what where they've come throughout the week and their response. We've been getting amazing emails and messages from people.
Absolutely. Too. And Cindy, this answers your question.
What's going on here?
I've just taken off the boot that I've on me, you see, which is
nice.
just,
I see you there.
What shoes are you wearing? Yeah, Noreen, yeah, that's it.
I'll put it back on again.
You're putting us all to shame, Noreen.
I see. So just, you can just raise your hand by saying, I don't know, you can just say, I raise my hand on the chat there. See, there's a little chat button. If you put your mouse down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see right in the middle is like a chat box. And if you hit that, and you can type there a message and say,
and then you can unmute yourself and speak.
Caroline is the first in saying she'd like to raise her heart. Come on, Caroline. Where will I find you now? Okay, so I'm gonna type. There's so many people. I can't just like find you. Actually, do you know what? Put your hand up like this, and I'll go through I'll go through the. Hang on a sec. Hang on a minute. seriously making it up as we go along, guys.
Exactly.
Where,
Well, Noreen, when you were giving us our blessing, our morning, afternoon, and evening blessing
there's,
for whoever is watching,
yeah,
I was struck at
I see you.
the intimacy I'm feeling each morning for the prayers, that somehow the disassociation of the technology helps in certain ways to reach a prayerful space. And I often wondered what the potentiality and the reality of the possibilities for spirituality and technology is. But as humans, we have this extraordinary ability to transport ourselves and to enter into, to suspend our disbelief, which can be a blessing and a curse, as we know, throughout our lives. We don't know what beliefs we're suspending at any particular time, but it was really touching. And I've walked away from these sessions really absolved. I was thinking about the word absolution as well. Noreen often says the word absolutely over and over and over again as well. And
really quickly.
Absolutely. And so I'm thinking, I feel absolved by the technology and your beautiful prayers, your interfaith meditations there, Noreen. So thanks a million for that.
And Marcella's out there. She might share on that later too. But Caroline, can you say something for us?
I'm just, I'm so grateful to all of you for being here. It's been truly a pleasure. I find myself just smiling from ear to ear most of the time that we're together, and I'm loving this way of connecting. And I'm also wanted to say that for me, after 14 days in quarantine, where I was constantly on my phone talking to people and using the internet, I've now come home and completely put it down. And this time for me is really about consolidation. I've realized it's about bringing in the harvest. It's an interesting thing. I'm just looking at all the books that I have that are already a part of me and still a part of me, but I haven't read yet. They were all interests that I took into my life at different times, and they are relevant. And instead of being on the internet, where mostly I was taking in other people's information, downloading all these videos that people are sending, these funny videos, sad videos, informative videos, putting all that aside and coming back to who I am at the core and rejoicing in that. So it's a wonderful, for me, that's just a wonderful time. And this has been an inspiration to be a part of a video event that is really speaking to that, speaking to bringing in the harvest, speaking to old friendships and new friendships, but taking what I already have instead of just constantly adding new, which seems to be the temptation of the world.
Lovely. I love the image of harvesting there, Carolyn, because that's really what we're doing, is we're taking in the harvest and storing it up for when we need it, and to share that harvest with everybody else. So I love this, rather than the time of hibernation, which a lot of people say, or dormancy, as Molly would say. But the idea of harvest is very beautiful. Mehel, as we'd say in Irish. Thank you so much.
Where in the world are you, Caroline?
I'm in Montenegro. My husband and I just got out of London on the last flight, and then they put us in quarantine when we got here. So we finally got home.
Amazing. Lovely to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to Carolyn Hopper now. And my transitions are not going to be so graceful because I'm still working it out. Let's see. There she is. Okay, hang on. Okay, Carolyn, how are you? Tell us where you are.
I'm in Bozeman, Montana, and still waiting for spring. I was inspired yesterday after this banquet, this beautiful banquet that we've been having all week, to just get in my car and go for a drive looking for wildflowers. And what that has to do with this week is expectation that spring is coming and I will find a sign. And I wanted to find bluebirds, and our western bluebirds look like they're this shining blue that's just unimaginable. And I didn't find those, and I found one tiny flower, and then I wrote you about seeing the cranes when I got home. So I'd gone on this long drive, and right around the corner from my house, standing so close to the road, were a pair of sandhill cranes, and it felt like a gift. I looked through my lens to focus on the eye of the female and just heard the light of the body as the eye. So it doesn't, for me, relate to all that we've shared. It's been so sacred and rich and a tapestry I want to wrap myself in for the rest of the time, maybe during this sacred sequester, but afterwards when things pick up again. And I looked, when I saw the photograph, I could see the light shining off her eye, and I could see through her nostril to the snow, and it was just led me to go back to the poetry that I mentioned and to find, remembering, you know, if I had not been awake, I would have missed it. What am I missing up until just before this week? Because I've been not necessarily happy with some isolation or some of the human affection that's missing. And the message just all week, pay attention and wake up, because if you don't, you'll miss something. And I don't want that to happen. I want to carry that away from this week as much as I will miss this. The connection has been nothing I could have imagined. It's just been an incredible gift. So I want to stay open regardless of different things that come up. And that gift that you've all given us, that sacred gift, has just been, I love David White's word that he uses a lot, astonishing. So blessings to all of you. This has just been an amazing, wonderful gift.
Wonderful.
And when you sent on that image of the crane, Carolyn, I was very touched by that, because of course the crane is the ancient Celtic bird. And so Loch Gur that we spoke about there, this ancient stone circle nearby here, 7,000 years old, that's the lake of the crane.
Oh.
And also the crane then, of course, is associated with one of our patron saints of Ireland. We have 3 of them, Patrick, Bridget, and Columkill. You mightn't have heard of him now. And he's always pictured with the crane beside him, because the idea is that one time he went and he healed a crane. So the crane is a very healing image too for us. So we're here to heal our own crane in our lives. So thank you for that image.
If there's a link, could you send it? Put
Great,
it in the
yeah.
notes. Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Good, we'll put that in the notes, yeah. And now let's see, Steve, let's see, hang on a minute. Who do I have here? Danny, I'll come to you. Yes, I'm going to, let's see, where's Ron? I have to find Ron.
Keep waving.
There's probably, oh, there he is. Thanks for waving, actually, Ron. Hi, Ron.
2 hands.
Tell us
Hello.
where you are, yeah.
It's so interesting to see so many faces that, oh, I've seen you I've seen you in Ireland, or I've seen you in at Asilomar. The poem this week, and it was triggered by Noreen's reading of the Confucius passage earlier in the week, where basically it starts inside all the way up to a happy country, right? And the poem that's been with me this week is Loaves and Fishes by David White. And I've been asking myself, every morning, my question has been, so what is my good word for the day that can feed thousands? Because I very much sense that we've got to keep that going. I remember Caroline from Montenegro, whiskey in Ireland in 2018. So, yeah. And gargling with cask strength whiskey is 60%, so that's good for the virus. But no, so I've been really, really sitting with Loaves and Fishes, and how one good word, especially one good word at the right time, just
exactly.
Yeah. So it's like I signed up for this.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. What's the Japanese saying, isn't it? That one word, one kind word is better than 3 months of winter. Lovely.
And now, Bella and Stephen. Hi, guys.
Hi. Good to
Tell
see
us,
you.
tell us where you are.
We're in Kirkland, Washington, outside of Seattle.
Very
So this is where it all started.
In
with
the
virus.
US, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I was just sharing with Stefan that you know, my background is mostly Irish. I came from a heavily Irish family. I didn't realize how Irish my family was till I went to Ireland. And we were with you guys in 2014. And this week has reminded me so much of the ancestral connections and the time there. And I've been thinking lots about my mom, because the trip we took was right after my mom had passed, and we'd been taking care of her for years. But my mom had both that devotional Catholic faith. She would go to Mass daily. She would drag me along, and I was like, oh God, I just couldn't stand it, you know. And one April Fool's Day, I was a really good girl, but that particular April Fool's Day, I thought it would be funny to play a joke, and I hid under the dining room table. I laid along the chairs, and she couldn't find me, and she got very angry. And my father came in, he goes, stay hidden, she'll go to Mass, you'll be okay. So I stayed under the table. And this week I was thinking about that, like just the wit here and the fun and the full spectrum of being in daily ritual, and how much I hated going to Mass, but this has been such a fulfilling thing, and I've loved every minute of it. And I just wanted to say, I woke up this morning and realized today is the anniversary of my mother's birthday, so she would have been 93.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thrilled to be here and celebrating with all of you, and celebrating her and remembering the fullness of all of it. So thank you.
Thanks, Bella.
yeah, I'll just add in, I think the phrase "from the sacred to the profane" runs through my mind here, and it's one thing that's very important for me, is that to have that, what I call a healthy reverence for life, because it's one can get very, very serious. Certainly, I can, and become pedantic even, and that's not much fun for me or anybody. And so this joyful, wild Irish rollicking humor is very present here with you guys, of course, because you grew up with that, and that's a lovely thing. Yeah, many moments of tears too, just touching into that depth of feeling, and the beauty of starting a day this way, even though I'm a bit of an owl, being an old musician, you know, I tend to be up late, but so it's a bit of a drag out of bed in the morning, but it's a very good place to be dragged to, you know, as Bella just said about the Mass. It's like, it's so beautiful just to sit with a candle and see all your faces and these comments and hear the quotes from all over, and then the stories. I just love the stories, because this is really what we have, is a collection of our amazing stories. So thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. It's lovely. Yeah. Our stories, they're all we have. Yeah.
And Cynthia Neal.
Is she waving?
Cynthia,
She's waving, not drowning.
can you?
That's right, Sylvia Plath. That's a quote from Sylvia Plath.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Waving, not drowning. Yeah,
That's
In one of her
Plath.
poems, or just in general?
one of her poems, and I think there might even be a book, actually, but waving, not drowning. Yeah, I often use that phrase too, because very often we feel we're just barely there, but we're waving. But
Cynthia, if you say something, you should appear, I think.
I'm here, right
Oh,
here.
there you are.
Yes. So do I
Lovely.
have to do something from here?
No, not at all. Tell us, where in the world are you, Cynthia?
Well, I'm drowning in New Hampshire. It's been raining for 2 days in New Hampshire.
Oh, no.
And yes, I'm originally from New York, but we've lived here for about 20 years. And honestly, I don't recall how I found the three of you and why I didn't find you so long ago, because I love your music.
the PBS link that you sent was fabulous, and I've sent it on to I don't know how many people. And this has been a wonderful reprieve. I think I met Carolyn. She stole my little phrase where I said, this has been for me a sacred sequester. And it's going into the cave of my heart and seeing some of the broken places. And it's been a lot of healing from a lot of different sources and connections. And this has been wonderful because I've had a resistance to formal prayer. And this is so freeing. And all of you are so transparent. And Noreen, you're especially transparent and telling your story. That really resonated with me was the story of you going to the writers' retreat in Northern Ireland, and where you had been as a young girl and lost your voice from age 14 to 35. That's powerful. And so there's been tears of cleansing and laughter. I love the laughter. So I say, I can't afford to. I get to celebrate being a writer in residence. I've always wanted to be a writer in residence. I'm a writer, but I've never been chosen as a writer in residence. So it's been a wonderful time, and a lot of vulnerability, a lot of healing, a lot of laughter. And this is just, I hope it happens again. I hope we can do it again. But there's a quote that I'd like to leave, because some of us want to, of course we want to be positive. We don't want to be, you know, the end of the world, and we don't want to be just go in our prayer closet in denial. But we need to be honest, and this has been an honest time for all of us. And this is Virgil. These are the tears of things, and the stuff of our mortality cuts us to the heart. And to let that happen because we're so afraid of it. It wasn't it Yeats said it takes great courage to go into the abyss of the heart. Yes. And to actually go there and be fearless, to be there and be honest. So thank you for helping making this happen. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm going to paraphrase you now in the future and say how we all get to be artists in residence during this time now.
Right. And Cynthia, I loved that phrase that you used, the spirit of the cave of the heart. Do you know Cyprian Siciliano's work at all? No? But for all of you, actually, Cyprian Siciliano, he's a Benedictine, but writes very beautiful music. And one of his songs is, Spirit in the cave of the heart, grant me your love. Spirit in the cave of the heart, grant me your love. It's a beautiful little song. But thank you for picking up on that phrase.
And now I want to go to our most recent member, who's only joined us this morning, Mark, who I believe is in Mexico. Mark, tell us where in the world are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm in Lake Chapala, Mexico. It's about 25. And I've been here I came here. So, you know, the people were very festive and beautiful. And a center of the town, like I suppose a lot of small Mexican towns, is the church. And it's open 24 hours a day. And I'm not Catholic, but I'd often go in there and sit because the people are so pure in their faith and the music. And now, for the first time yesterday, the doors to the church were closed, like a lot of other doors are closed. And I'd like to think that the people are making contact with each other some ways that we're doing now. Because it is a lot more quiet than it was. I'm aware that my life has changed. It's like I'm living a different life now. And so are so many other people. And so it's times like this that we have to really be there for one another and reach out. And I'm feeling that more and more. That's why it's a privilege. Accents and that we're all looking to stay in connection. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Great. Unfortunately, the line is a little choppy, but if you want to write any comments there on the chat, we can all read those. We've really enjoyed reading each other's wisdom.
Oh,
and
you didn't
reflection.
you didn't hear me then. Oh, you
We
didn't
can,
hear me.
I
I'm
could say
sorry.
I got about 80
Coming
or
and going, coming
90%.
and going. Yeah.
But yeah, listen, and it's wonderful
Oh,
actually.
okay.
It's
Okay.
great to hear you, because just this morning, the three of us recorded an invitation to another course that we're doing for over the Easter weekend. So we're going to be doing this again over the 5 days of Easter. And yeah, do you want to say anything about that, Noreen, here?
First of all, and I'm getting emotional now, I want to say thank you to ye out there, not just for your beautiful presences, but for the support, the financial support too, that you've given us at this time. Because we say, for me personally, I'm quite bereft at the moment because, of course, my ministry and weddings and so on have disappeared. My teaching, which is only part-time, has disappeared. My performances, lectures, workshops, some of you are coming here to Ireland next week, have disappeared. So we're so grateful to you for your support at this time. And, you know, I know for the two boys, the two lads as well, that they had so many engagements too and gigs. And at this time, I should be packing my bags and putting on my glad rags, taking my glittery shoes with me up to Dublin for Hall's launch tomorrow. And Owen was supposed to come here too and would be staying here in this little house with me. And so I'm just feeling that. So I'm sorry for being so emotional. But I really do want to say that you must know how much we appreciate this. You must know how much we appreciate it. And if there's any way that we can be there for you, in any way, just please put your hand up. Not now, but at any stage. And Owen, I think you wanted to say too, of course, that there are people supporting people who can't afford to join us. And so please don't hesitate if you can't afford this to let us know.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We've been able to just very generously offer scholarships to people who have been requesting it because of your support and the support of others explicitly who have donated for others to attend too. So that's amazing. And to see the response come in of how people really value this is quite extraordinary. To be honest, I don't know if we've ever gotten such amazing feedback from anything we've ever done. I've never seen anything like it. The amount of emails and messages behind the scenes too, and all of your chat. I mean, maybe.
And yet it has nothing, you know, yet it has nothing to do with us. You know, we're all in this together. We've been thrown together to do heart work, as we've seen ourselves. So we're all in this together, following this vocation, this calling that each one of us has, down to this marvelous experiment, sometimes very painful experience and experiment, which is life itself. So it has nothing to do with us per se. It is the interaction between us, that we have been sent together. As Emily Dickinson would say, somebody wrote a lovely little comment actually about Emily Dickinson, of course, was in seclusion. She was in isolation all her life. She chose that. But so she's certainly our patron saint at this time. But as she says, the soul selects her own society and shuts the door, you know. And in Ireland too, we say, we have a lovely little phrase, which is Acnean Kirog Ella. So one spider recognizes another. So here we are all spiders climbing along and helping each other like little ants, building a little ant pile together. Have you somebody else, Sony?
do. What about Kristen and Ruby? Kristen and Ruby, let me see. Where are you guys? I see Dick Halford as well too. Oh, there they are. Here they are. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
And tell us where are you two now?
We're in Rhode Island.
We're in Rhode Island, the USA, the littlest state in the country.
Littlest.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I had a big cry last night that this was coming to an end myself, because this has been so great. So I'm really excited about the Easter. Got me going. But anyway, I want to say that what made me so sad that it was coming to an end is because this is a place where we are talking about important things. And I missed that. I missed talking about important things because the people that talked about really important things besides Ruby were my people that are dead. You know, my sister and my brother and my mother and father. And they were the ones that loved to talk about real stuff. I still have siblings, but they're not the ones I talk to about the big important things and laugh with like this. They're also the ones we laughed with so much. And so I think I really identify with your family because you really remind me of my family. You become my family, but you remind me of them. And the writer, Malachy Doyle, we met him in Ireland. He's a children's book author. And when we met him, it gave back a piece of what I had lost, of laughing and talking over each other and talking about the hard things. So that's what I've really missed, having someone who wants to talk about the hard stuff, because we laugh almost always. But we're also kind of polarized and we like to talk about the heavy stuff too. Yeah. And so we have each other, but this has provided a space for people that want to talk about grief or the heart. I loved writing to my heart. That was amazing. I just love all the invitations. So thank you. And I think I had stopped writing my poetry. Periodically, I stopped writing my poetry when someone dies, or I might get inspired to write poetry or whatever. So this week, for the first time, I've written my poetry since this coronavirus has come. So I've started to write poetry again. So I thank you for that. I haven't painted again, but I will paint again. I realize I'll paint again too. I will open up to my art again, because I think I get so unsettled that I forget that I have to do this work. So thank you.
And I wanted to, like, the laughter and the amount of love in this thing. It's like, wake up, everything's gonna be okay now. I don't know, like, I'm very connected to the wind. I don't know, this is gonna sound weird. The class sort of, it feels like whenever the wind blows, the class sort of feels like that feeling of just like freedom. And it feels like the stars are here, just like listening to us and singing. And even in the midst of all this big pandemic, we're here and we're together and we're connecting. And it's beautiful and it's healing and it's the calm inside of the storm. And it made me think about how we're all connected. And as Noreen said, we're all different but alike. And thank you, all of you. I really, really love this class.
And although we, Kristen, you've been saying that you've lost your parents and so on. When little Ruby wrote to me, my instinct was to call her a soul granddaughter. So you're soul daughters, all of you, and soul granddaughters. So even though soul doesn't make up for blood in any way, at the same time, it's a very deep connection. It's in the soul, because we're all soul to soul.
Thank you so much. Yeah, beautiful. Let's see now. Who else do I?
Well, as my offering of gratitude, I wanted to sing two really quick songs. One is, they're both really cheesy, and they're both all for all of you out there. And then I've got a couple of poems I'd like to read to you in gratitude, in parting, after we hear a few more voices. But here's a few tunes. One's, I can't remember, Doris Day, I think the first one is. It goes, in this world of ordinary people, extraordinary people, I'm glad there is you in this world of overrated pleasures and underrated treasures. I'm glad there is you. I'd love to live, I'd live to love with you. Beside me, this world so new, I'll muddle through with you to guide me. In this world, oh, where many play at love, but hardly any stay in love, I'm glad there is you more than ever. I'm glad there is. I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. And in that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the Christmas tree, the wishing well, and I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's bright and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is through, I'll be howling at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Thank you. Two cheesy ones. I'll include them in the notes. Classics. I think you're muted, Owen. Maybe.
Oh, good. Will we take someone else? What do you think? Marnie. Let's see if I can find Marnie next. One moment. Marnie. Okay, I'm going through the
Keep waving,
gallery
Marnie.
for Marnie. So wave at me. There she is. Thanks for waving. Okay, here we go. Marnie, tell us, where in the world are you?
Do you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I am in Orlando, Florida. And I thought I would share a little story from yesterday because most of the time I think that I experience or find my way to the divine, not that it isn't there all the time, but through the frequency of music. And so yesterday, having bought several of your CDs, I thought I'm finally going to get out my little attachment that I have to have in order, because my MacBook Air no longer has a USB drive. I'm going to record them so I can listen on my walk. So I put one in, and when I returned, only 7 of the songs had recorded. And basically what happened is the device is dead and the CD is stuck in the device. So my effort to bring your music into my walks in the morning basically failed. So I I'm just going to say, and then I went desperately online. Did find Lead Kindly Light, which I had really wanted to hear on YouTube. So thank you for having that little piece. It was on the Gladdening Light 2019 conference, which is where I had heard you. So I thought I'd tell you that little story. But the other piece, this week at some point, I think Noreen said, kind of used the phrase that Christ's cross is every tree. And I had this sitting behind me. Can you see what that says?
If we surrender the earth, we could rise up rooted like trees. Lovely. Who said that now?
And then you see, I'm sorry?
Rumi.
Rilke.
Yeah.
Rainer Maria Rilke, I think.
Lovely. Rilke it is.
Yeah, it's Rilke. And can you see the tree?
Yes.
You probably don't think about Orlando, Florida as having trees like that, but we do. And when I go out for my morning walk, I mean, they're just unbelievably beautiful with strong, strong branches going out. And when I walk out there, the canopy of those trees, I think about one, as we know, the roots and the connections between the trees, each other messages, and they're giving messages to help their fellow trees. And I think about the canopy and the way it's breathing, and in a way kind of protecting and cleansing the air. Because even now, now we're told we should have masks, even when we're just walking outside in the air. And so I thank you because partly because of Noreen's our daily opportunity to begin with prayer, I am thanking every single tree and offering a prayer that it will stay strong and healthy. So thank you for the music and the beautiful things that will stay in my heart for always. Thank you.
Thank you, Marnie.
Thank you, Marnie.
Owen, you have a lovely poem there of David Wagner. Would you say that for us?
Oh, yes. That's a beautiful one.
You remember it? Have you it off by heart?
It's called
Trees.
Lost. And it's a great poem of advice, wisdom from the elders who say to us whenever you're feeling lost, to stand still. The trees ahead and the bushes beside you are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it like a powerful stranger. Must ask permission to know it and be known. The forest breathes, listen. The forest breathes, listen. It answers, I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again saying, here. No two trees are the same to raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, then you are truly lost. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, then you are truly lost. The forest knows where you are. The forest knows where we are. We must let it find us. That's David Wagner, yeah.
Lovely. Thanks, Marnie. That's lovely.
And if we can go to Danny now. Let me see if I can find Danny. Where are you? There he is. Tell us, Danny, where in the world are you at this very moment? Physically, that is.
Thank you. And let me say first, endless gratitude to all three of you, and love and blessings to all three of you and all of us here. I am in the Blue Ridge Appalachian Mountains of Southwest Virginia, near the little tiny unincorporated village of Meadows of Dan. And it's not named after me. And I live here by choice and grace to these mountains, and my deep soul friend, Amanda Ford, who is with us, and blessings to her forever. I love her endlessly. And I live off the grid in a tiny 8-foot by 12-foot cabin that I built myself here at a campground. And I barter for the postage stamp to place this little cabin. So that's where I live and what is in my heart. And I wanted to mention to all of you that to look into the reality of these northern Appalachia mountains with their stone megalithic features that are researched and tied to the Celts, particularly from Maryland up and into Canada. And then, Owen, if I sent you a private note there, chat, with a quote by Carl Sandburg, if it's not too difficult, that since Noreen has such a beautiful voice, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, I apologize if not, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, if she might read that Carl Sandburg quote for us in the spirit of this lovely class of community, sharing, and belonging. Can you find that note there, Owen?
I can. And actually, Nor, I'll just text it to you there. You can see it on your phone right now.
Okay, that's great.
And then with that, I'll leave you be and allow someone else after Noreen reads the quote.
Lovely.
Bless
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you,
Bless
Danny.
you, Dan.
It's an amazing story. Yeah, you're following in the true pioneering American spirit there. It's wonderful. And yeah.
It's a beautiful quote. The river. I remember it like a picture. The river as the upper twist of a question mark. A twist of water asking a question. The river, I remember it like a picture. The river is as the upper twist of a question mark. A twist of water asking a question. That's so beautiful.
Super. We'll put that in the.
Thank you, Dan.
We'll
Thank you
put
so
that
much.
in the notes as well too online. Someone else just mentioned that we should keep all of these available in the vault, and we will for sure. Yeah, they'll always be available to you there. And yeah. No, it's wonderful. Again, this is another great time again for us to return to this craft. This is the time for us. We've no excuse now except to create these experiences for us all to share in the future. You know, a little well, a basket to come back to. Now,
Amber's there, is she?
Amber is there. I have a little list. I have a little list
Good.
here. Catherine Callahan. Where is Kathy Callahan? Wave at me. Wave at me as I go by here on the gallery. Oh, there she is. This is great fun.
Oh, and you're having too much fun.
I am here. Hey, Catherine. Tell us where you are.
I'm in Vermont, in West Somerston, Vermont, by the West River. And I'm working from home. And so this has been every day I've been coming to this class. And I just want to thank you, Owen and Michal and Noreen, because it's been a reminded me who I am and brings me back home. And the image that comes to me is, you know, a mother cat, when she sees her little kitten scurrying around and she grabs it by the neck. And then the cat just, you know, still. And I feel like that's what's happening to me by being home and being with you. So I have a lot of gratitude. The other thing is I lost a childhood friend Sunday night to the virus, who was very much part of my home and my upbringing. So I've had her very much in my mind as we've been praying together. Her name was Michelle Tarrant, just my age, you know, 59. So I just want to thank you, the three of you, and it's been lovely to be with everyone. And Cedric, when he flashed in for my group, that was exciting. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Catherine.
And we just take a moment there, Catherine, to remember Michelle. Ganina dia trocra, her onum, Dealish. And we remember all of our beloved dead ones at this moment who've passed over, but who are very, very near to us and are our allies now. And we remember also all the strangers who are passing over at this time. May they rest in peace.
Is Mary Jo out there?
She's waving.
Give us a wave, Mary Jo.
Oh, I see.
Sounds like a song.
Where is Mary Jo? No, actually, I don't see her. I'm very bad.
I see her. She's up at the top of our. She's at the top of our screen.
Oh, there.
Waving Mary Jo.
Mary Jo, there you are. Hello, Mary Jo.
Hello. Everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning from San Jose, California. It is, I'm full. I'm very full. First off, I wanted to show this to Caroline. There's a little bluebird for you, darling. I found her. Perched on my cabinet in my kitchen. She's flying over you right now.
Over to Montana.
Yes, Caroline. And then this gorgeous thing. This is my first bloom in my rose garden that opened up yesterday morning. Her name is Double Delight. And I thought that's so appropriate that the first rose on this spring in our part of the world, which is resplendent, it's incredible. We have about a 2.5 month long spring of blossoms. But it would be double delight because I feel like I'm in, you know, a bazillion delight each moment that I sit with all of you. So this has been a really important healing time for me because Noreen and Michal and Owen, myself, my husband, and my sisters and brothers from San Jose were going to be with you in 2 weeks in your little cottage.
Who was that?
Room with Spirit and David Bruner.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So it was like when my dear friends Suzanne and Jan, who are on the screen with all of you right now, talked last weekend, I felt like it was just, you know, healing balm. I was like, oh, of course. What a gift. What a serendipitous divine invitation. So my gratitude for all of you is beyond words. And for you, me lads, I started calling you the boys, and then I heard your mom call you the lad, so I'm going to call you the lad.
You certainly can.
I want to share a really powerful story I had when I first met you, which was at Imeall with David White years ago. It's the time when Christine, his daughter, came as well, and you sang with her.
Charlotte, yeah, Charlotte.
Charlotte, that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I knew it was a CH, but anyway, Charlotte. And I arrived and promptly got sick with a terrible cough. So I removed myself from the gathering that were seated close together, and I sat in the very back of the chapel where the books were set up and snacks and stuff, so I could be close to the door to get out if I was making noise. And unbeknownst to me at that time, you had come along to the back of the chapel, the three of you, if I remember correctly. And it was the first time that you sang after David had spoke in the convocation of us all there together. And I felt like I had been engulfed in liquid gold. And I began to weep. And I felt like I had a private moment with you, because it was before you started to walk down through the main chapel area. So it was just me and you all abreast of me. And I'm sure you didn't notice me. I was trying to be as unobvious as possible and a bit guilty because I was so noisy with my cough. I will never forget that moment, never. And then since then, of course, you visited our church home, Center for Spiritual Living in San Jose, which was just an abundance outlet. So I wanted to show my personal connection to you. And I've had this imagery in my life, most of my adolescence on. I could never find words for it, but the divine for me is about one, capital O-N-E. And Noreen, you do such a beautiful job of weaving that oneness through the interfaith tradition, which is what I've always been drawn to in my adult years. And I'm 73, so I've had a few adult years. So the imagery that I have, that I feel like this time is for us on the planet, is that the wovenness of the fabric of humankind and the natural world is coming together and weaving the tapestry of healing, and there is no disconnection. We are with each other as the thread of this healing time where our planet gets a break. I have not been in my house and had such beautiful silence, and I'm not talking about just being alone in my home, because I'm not. My husband's here and music's on and there's conversation, but the ambient noise that's outside, the sound of traffic, the sound of an airplane going over, all that I can hear is bird song and the song of softness, the trees with wind in them. And I see that as the thread that is happening across the whole planet. Of course, where there's light, there's always dark. And that is where we're seeing that in the ICU units, and when there's perhaps not enough ventilators. However, I am manifesting there will be enough ventilators. But with that, having you on the postage stamps or the Hollywood squares or the bingo cards or whatever all the metaphors are for all the pictures on a Zoom chat, I feel this deep sense of the connection that I rarely feel in such magnitude. And I believe that this time is this extraordinary divine invitation. And I feel so grateful that I've RSVP'd yes. Yes, and again, yes. And you've grounded me these 5 mornings in that yes. And I'm so grateful I get to go back to the vault, because I may just replay you for every morning, Monday through Friday, for the rest of my life. I'm just not sure. And maybe I'll come away with it having memorized one poem.
Best of luck. That's lovely. That's really nice.
A poem or song and just weave it in so magnificently into what is being the heartfelt shares. So
that's lovely.
I can't wait to see you next April. We'll be there, and be prepared. I'll be mauling you with hugs.
Nice.
Please God, please God, please God.
Please God, yeah, thank you. Your roses are beautiful. Wow, enjoy.
Double delights. Yeah.
And I just want to say to all the people on Spirit Tours, because in fact I spoke to one yesterday. I was thrown with Suzanne, I think, and her partner Dan, and just to say that we will miss you very much, and we are looking forward to seeing you next year. And thanks to Jim and all the Spirit Tours, David, and people too.
No, it was great. Actually, when all this started to crash, Spirit Tours were amazing, because instantly David and Jim Kramer on the Spirit Tour organization of the CSO and David there, Brunner, just said, April 2021.
Yeah, exactly.
And the power, the agency that gave, it was like, okay, let's just reset it and put it to next year. And suddenly there was just this calm that came over me. It was like, okay, let's just postpone everything. So David and Jim were the first people that I experienced in my own events that just said, let's not worry about it. Let's just take the life as it comes, and we'll just do it next year. So yeah, there was a great sense of gratitude to all of them and yourselves, for that.
Going with the flow.
Going with the flow. Yeah. Let's see.
I'm doing an interview then with your friends that a lot of the Spirit Tour people will know, Edward, next Tuesday. We're doing a little interview together that came out of Jim made that introduction.
Oh, lovely. Now let's see. Enshama and Cedron, where are you, my friends?
Give us a wave, guys.
See. Are you on this page? Are you on the next one? Are you on the next one?
Well, I don't know how you're doing this.
I don't know how I'm doing it myself. I mean, it's just miraculous how it all works.
Are they waving?
Hang on, let me see.
They're down
the back. If I don't see them, I can kind of search for them. They might have, I don't. Oh, there she is. Hang on a sec. Yes. Okay.
It's like catching a fish.
It's like trying to catch a fish. Hang on, now I have to unmute you. Here we go. You're coming in loud and clear.
Oh, good. I just want to express the experience of sitting in this great heart that we are all sitting in, and how beautifully the three of you have opened the door for us to sit together in this place. The word that comes up for me is refuge. And what is our refuge in this time? And this has been an incredible refuge of the heart and of love and of connectedness, that I know once we turn the videos off today, we'll still be there. We'll still be connected. And I think it's Martin Buber who spoke of the cloud of witnesses that we can take, that we can all be present as a cloud of witnesses in each other's lives. And so just inviting people into that place of, where's my refuge? And here is my refuge.
So good.
And Cedron's too. This is Peaches, and she's an angel dog. She's a therapy dog, and she just has so much love. So she's just sending love to you now.
That's great.
So just send my love to all of you. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, and Sham, as you were saying there, refuge, I was just thinking of a little song that I learned from a woman who came to a workshop that I gave last summer, who had been a frequent visitor of Plum Village. Do you know where that Thich Nhat Hanh in France?
Mm-hmm.
And so a little line that comes to us is, I take refuge in myself. So the little song kind of goes like this now. This is my first time ever singing it now. Je suis chez moi, je suis arrivé, il n'y a que ceci et maintenant, bien solide, vraiment libre, je prends refuge en moi-même, je prends refuge en moi-même. Je suis chez moi, je suis arrivée. Do you want to try it? It's because it's lovely. I am home. I have arrived. There is nothing except the here and the now. Il n'y a qu'ici et maintenant. Bien solide, vraiment libre. Here I am, well grounded and truly free. Je prends refuge en moi-même. I take refuge in myself. So it goes like this. Je suis chez moi, je suis arrivé. You try that? Je suis chez moi, je suis arrivé. Il n'y a qu'ici et maintenant. Il n'y a qu'ici et maintenant. Bien solide, vraiment libre. Bien solide, vraiment libre. Je prends refuge en moi-même. Je prends refuge en moi-même. We'll send that on to you too, and maybe a little link to it. But thank you, Njamba, for that. That's lovely. Refuge.
Dawn there said in the text that a vault, which we're calling the place we're putting all these videos. She says the vault is a roof in the form of an arch or a series of arches, typical of churches or other large formal buildings. And vault also means to leap vigorously.
Forgot that. It's good.
Mary.
It's not my vault.
It's not my vault.
Not my vault. Mary Porter. Where are you, Mary? There she
Keep
is.
waving, Mary.
Look at this. I see her. Hello, Mary. Tell us, where in the world are you?
Hi, I'm in New York City.
Right on.
Hello,
right
Mary.
in the thick of Manhattan right there, aren't you?
Yeah, and this has been so beautiful because, as you all know, we're getting hit really hard, and we don't have enough things to really support what's happening. So it's strange times, but I just love that there's synchronicity in everything because beginning of the week, I was kind of really, we've been doing this for several weeks now, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse. And now tents are going up in the park to hold people, and people are having to come out of hospitals to go to other places so that the hospitals can be basically converted to ICUs. Pretty much every hospital in the city at this point is an entire ICU. And I have friends working, nurses working. I'm not an ICU nurse, but working on the front lines. And it's just, it's pretty horrific. And there's not even testing or anything for people to, you know, if the healthcare workers get sick with what ostensibly is the virus, they're just told to go home, recover, and then come back. Like there's no, you know, there's no organization and things that maybe should have happened a long time ago. So I was having a bit of a tough time at the beginning of the week and was really excited that you guys were doing this. And I went for a walk in the park, and I just want to show you this. I hope you guys can see it. What came for the first time in 3 years, can you see this?
I can.
Yeah,
Wonderful. This white crane, and what's been happening in the park is all the birds that haven't been here in years because of the increased pollution and traffic and everything are starting to come back. And one of my saving graces has been to go through the park every morning and just relish in nature and take in the love and the support, you know, of the planet, especially trees. And I know this was mentioned in the chats, but I just finished The Overstory, which is a really powerful book, kind of about what's happening on the planet in regards to trees. So it's just been such a delight to be able to share in this and then have something to go to. Like, I remember we did this, you know, last summer, every day, the prayers and the songs, but now we can actually open up and do it with you every day after this is over. I've been doing that actually at night just to have something to connect to, because it's really eerie to be completely at this point isolated. But one beautiful thing that's been happening, I don't know if it's around the States or just here, every day at 7 o'clock, people open their windows and clap for 2 minutes for all the healthcare workers. And, you know, pound pans and clap and cheer and whoop. And it's just amazing to kind of see, like through the rooftops, everyone standing outside, clapping and connecting in some way in the midst of this of this pandemic. So this has just been a saving grace for me. So I want to thank you all.
Thank you, Mary.
Good to see you, Mary, again. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Now, Amba and Dawn. Amba and Dawn. Where are our friends, Amba and Dawn? There you are.
Keep
How
waving.
are you? Tell us. Hang on a moment. I have to
They're
do
great
it,
wavers,
and then I
the
have
two of
to
them.
do the unmute. Yes. Now tell us where you are. We should be able to hear you.
We're on Bainbridge Island.
In Seattle.
Sunny Washington.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's sunny. So, hello.
Good. Yeah.
Can you see me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Hear you loud and clear.
My very first time for this. So,
Great.
yeah. Let's see. I've got, since I raised my hand a while ago, I've just gone through so many different spaces. And this last, Mary, your speaking was so moving because it brought me to earth, to the reality. And let's see, I just want to say to the three of you, I'm so grateful. And you bring me to tears every time I'm with you. And I know I speak for all of us, the depth, the breadth of the voice, the singing. You sing, Molly, and I started weeping when you were singing, and none of us spoke to that yet, except for on the chat. But I just want you to know how much your singing brings heart to heart. And just being with each of you, each of the inspiration that you are, in your equanimity and your sense of peace and your groundedness and your flow. And Noreen, it's so good to be with you again. At any rate, I've had in front of me today John's To Bless the Space Between Us. And in that book, he speaks about threshold crossings, which, as you all know, I've been writing a lot of poems about threshold crossings, and been attending to my own threshold crossing, and now seeing the enormity of the threshold crossing we're all doing together here. And globally, planet-wise, I love the speaking about the healing of the planet, because that's what's taking place now. And I just thought I would read a little bit from John O'Donohue's book on crossing thresholds. So he says, to cross, this is a couple of paragraphs, to cross the thresholds worthily when a great moment knocks on the door of your heart. It remains the dream of every life to realize itself, to reach out and lift oneself up to greater heights. A life that continues to remain on the safe side of its own habits and repetitions, that never engages with the risk of its own possibility, remains an unlived life. There is within each heart a hidden voice that calls out for freedom and creativity. We often linger for years in spaces that are too small and shabby for the grandeur of our spirit. Yet experience always remains faithful to us. If lived truthfully and generously, it will always guide us toward the real pastures. And I'm thanking all of you who have spoken and who are here, and the three of you for guiding us toward the real pastures, for letting us live in the real pastures while we go through this time together.
Thank you.
And I just want to tell you all that Amba there has written a most beautiful book that I just received 3 days ago. And so watch out for that space, which is coming up, because it's beautifully, both visually and as I was reading the poetry, just a snippet of moments this morning, you have to read it aloud. Read her poetry aloud. And there are lots of lovely reflections and deep reflections. It's just what's needed for this time. It's what the doctor ordered, as we'd say.
Thank you, Noreen. Thank you so much for that. I'm feeling that too. And I really appreciate you. I didn't know you had read, that you had gotten into it yet, and I really appreciate
Only just glanced at it, but yeah. But I'll spend time with it, let me tell you. Yeah.
How are you, Don? How are you doing? How's your heart, Don?
I'm doing good. These are strange times, and but I'm hearing the silence around. I just noticed this morning, no planes.
No.
More birds. Even the sea life is coming in closer to shore. So it's the sensation of living in this magnificent park now.
We've had seals right outside. We live on the Puget Sound, and we've had seals coming close in. So for about a month now, every morning, actually all the way through the day, you can hear the seals calling to one another. It's been amazing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if they know what's going on.
But they spot things that aren't going on, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I saw somebody call it a rewilding, so I love that term.
Yeah.
Love it.
Rewilding.
Thanks, guys. Great to see
Thank
you.
And isn't it wonderful that these metal birds are being replaced and back to the real birds?
And let's see, maybe we can take one or two more, will we? How is Leslie doing out there? Where is Leslie Woodward? She's not on this page. There she is. I see her. Look at this with that beautiful painting. Hang on a moment. Say hello, Leslie. Where are you?
I am in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So blessings to you all from.
Good to see you again, Leslie. Good to see you again.
What'd you say?
I said, good to see you again. And that's Leslie's painting behind her there, the backdrop there. She might tell us about that. It's very beautiful.
Thank you, Noreen. You have saved my life this week. Thank you. Thank you to all three of you and to all of you on the call. I'm here alone in San Francisco. I came a year ago for an adventure. Little did I suspect, right, that it would turn into this adventure. I left my family and friends in New England and in the East. My son's in New York, Mary, with you. And you know, it's very odd, isn't it? That for the first time ever, what I'm experiencing that you guys have helped so much with is missing my family. So you have been my family, because I am from a crazy, artistic, musical, wonderful group of people that laugh, that cry, that express, that, Mikhail, you said, Michal, I can't say your new name, sorry, that you said, don't hold back, right? And I was like, yes, this is like being in my crazy living room with my family. So thank you all so very much. But I can't get to them. Isn't that odd? For the first time ever, when someone that we love is suffering, we can't go. We can't hold them. We can't be there with them. So this has helped teach me. And Noreen, the other day you said, connect to your ancestors, connect to your family. And that's what this has done for me, is to open my life back. So I'm here alone in this artistic retreat right now. And my family is here with me. My dad was here this morning. I want to show you. He was on my walk to the Presidio. Here's I don't know if you can see that, but this is the most magnificent flowering crabapple, which was his favorite tree in Connecticut in our yard. So I just want to say thank you to you all. Blessings to you all for your health and well-being, and of those that you love. And one last comment, my business has completely dried up. I work with entrepreneurs and small business people, so obviously I'm a nice to have as a coach, not a must have. So this has opened up this incredible, I went on Nextdoor and I said, anybody want to learn to knit, weave, spin, needlepoint, paint for free? I'm your person. So I've been passing this slow hands art.
Lovely.
Slow hands, but open spirit into young people in the world, which is, you know, my revenue's down and my joy is up, right? What matters is pass that forward. So thank you all.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you so much.
And keep at that wonderful art.
And Dick Halford, Dick, would you like to say hello here? Your hand is up. Tell us, where in the world are you, Dick?
Okay, I am in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh.
And as the only thing I can say is, pandemically speaking, I'm okay, at least so far. Okay.
Yeah.
And number one, Molly, I'll Be Seeing You really isn't a cheesy song. And way back when, in 1967, 68, when I was an intern, I would wake up in the morning around 6 o'clock, and this one gentleman would always end his program with, "I'll be seeing you." So that stays with me. And then I would just like to give several verses, because there are certain people who, well, I guess everybody's had people who have crossed the threshold and are no longer with us. Okay, so here is a verse that I say to my wife and my parents, okay, every morning. Into spirit pastures I will send the faithful love which here we found, that we might be united soul to soul. So may you find my thinking ever loving, when from the Spirit's light-filled world you searching see my gaze of soul, to find what here in me you seek.
Wow.
So I say that, and also you can read from any scripture to the dead, and that will be nourishing to them. If they were football fans, baseball fans, that no longer interests them. But the Spirit interests them. It's nourishing to them, and then they will help you in ways that you might not know consciously. Okay. Now, occasionally you have somebody like Jean Oberlin, whom Oberlin College was named after, and his wife communicated to him after she had crossed the threshold about what to do. But that is exceptional. And then there is just another verse for courage. Okay? We must eradicate from the soul all fear and terror of what comes towards man out of the future. We must acquire serenity in all feelings and sensations about the future. We must look forward with absolute equanimity to everything that may come, and we must think only that whatever comes is given to us by a world directive full of wisdom. It is part of what we must learn in this age, namely to live out of pure trust in the ever-present help of the spiritual world. Truly, nothing else will do if our courage is not to fail us. And let us seek the awakening from within ourselves every morning and every evening. Those are both quotes from Rudolf Steiner. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. You're
Thank you,
always such a pillar of strength and of joy and vivacity. So it's lovely to see you there. Thank you so much.
So great. Thank you for that. Wonderful.
And now I think I'd love to hear, we have Samir Moley. Remember, you've met Samir Moley?
Yes.
Haven't you? I have not met you, Samir, yet, but it's great to see you here. Hang on a sec. Where will I find you here? I wonder.
Samir, yeah, he's another New York City.
In New York
He's a
too.
coach and a chef and a Renaissance man. Very
Samir,
eligible bachelor, I'd say.
Speak to us. Tell us where you are.
Hey, everybody. Yes, I had such a good time, Molly, with you and Tuscany recently. Beautiful walks and everything. And I just, when I saw this, I signed within 60 seconds. I think I was first. And I had this weird dream about 10 years ago that I'm going to move to Ireland. It was so vivid, and it's never going to happen. But it's just to communicate to me that I have this Ireland envy. I think many people do. It's a really something that speaks for humans and curates for us something that's so beautiful that we all can identify with. And I really appreciate lightness with which you approach transformation. Often transformation is heavy, you know, heavy, priests talking, pastors talking, philosophers talking, you know. But being playful with ourselves, I think we are the most receptive and the most powerful when we have this serious play going on. And I really love that banter. Sometimes it's just banter between three of you, and it's just like water, like drinking water. And I really admire your courage to just be, you know. And for me, the word is home. Noreen mentioned that perhaps now more than ever we see the importance of home. And so I came up with a couple of ideas this week. Actually, next week I'm launching a 5-day virtual retreat.
Good.
You know, it's called 5 Days at La Frontera. You know, how to cross your threshold. Because I was in New Mexico in a place called La Frontera. You know, it's a borderland, where things feel differently and a lot of things are happening in you that you don't know are happening. So that's great. And then also I cook a lot, so I will have I'm thinking to put together, this inspired me, it's called American Love, live cooking show, recipes from swing states. You know, to celebrate people who are complicated in those states, and you know, enter this world of politics as we need to shift towards November. Everybody is kind of like a little bit of having a break, but it's important as the virus, and I feel like I wanna offer that and go through, as an immigrant to United States, through like all American recipes, you know, focusing maybe on 5 or 10 these swing states. So that's what it did for me. I try to channel into energy and doing things. So I thank you for that. You know, leave every time when this is finished, I feel like more grounded, and I feel like I can do this and I don't have to push it. You know, life is on my side. You know, it has always been, you know, for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, all the way to this morning's breakfast, in order all the way to this breath. You know, it's conspiring for me to succeed in a context I am. So I can just breathe and just be. So thank you for so much fun.
Great. Thank you, Samir. I look forward to
Samir.
meeting up when I'm down in New York City next.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When Molly has a book tour, we will make a
tour.
That's it, guys. You know.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
And let me see.
Yes, who would have thought that all of us would be pining for some Brexit news in the midst of all of this? There's a meme going around the internet with just a black square with white writing saying, "Brexit, anyone?" And I think it's very, very sarcastic. Yes, and I did see that Marcella said just there that Bill Withers passed away, Noreen.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He was the fellow who did a lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day, a lovely day. So
lovely, yeah.
Suspended notes in pop history.
One of the longest suspended note in pop history. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And he did lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. You just might have a problem that I don't understand. No, we all need somebody to lean on. Some tune.
To lean on metaphorically, yeah, symbolically. Yeah. Lovely. Is it nearly time for us to begin our goodbyes? No.
I think it could be.
Okay, so Molly, you might run your little poems there past us.
Sure, I just when
yeah.
When we were speaking about the vault earlier, somebody in the chat put up the word that the vault is also a sanctuary, you know, and that the interfaith kind of potentialities of what we've created here. And there's a poem I wrote with sanctuary in the title about a prayerful space that I entered, which was made completely out of wood. And I found it so refreshing that it was a wooden structure to pray in, rather than where we come from, especially in Ireland and Europe. It's very much a stone and steel and stained glass. And this was clear glass and wood, and it felt like such a spiraling light energy in this beautiful place on Whidbey Island called Chinook Retreat Center. So I wrote a poem that I will pass to you in parting, called Chinook Sanctuary, with many, many blessings, and then I'll hand it over to you, Owen. Chinook Sanctuary. Having descended into silence, I face a wooden structure. The sanctuary breathes before me. So I enter with rain on my skin. Completely empty, it welcomes the emptiness in me. Calls to prayer, the easy prayer of simple breathing. This is how a church should be. The joining of warm wood together, making walls invisible, calling us to join in, not leave behind the life outside the door. A church vulnerable to fire and water, a prayer vessel floating in the forest. Mesmerized by amber tree lines ringing around me, I knew courageous prayers are said in places like this, with wood, not stone, listening. I knew utter joy sweeps through places like these, a shelter, not an escape, unfettered by damp rock and twisted metal, hidden behind stained glass, lead-lined, but a living, breathing, wild church for wild prayers. And though the air is still, a silent gale rose through this singing space, this silent cathedral among the moss. My skin thirsts again for rain. My soul is a falling acorn, a hazelnut floating. So grant yourself refuge here. Grasp these sacred seconds and call your soul your own. And though the air is still, a silent gale rose through this singing space, this silent cathedral among the moss. My skin thirsts again for rain, my soul a falling acorn, a hazelnut floating. Grant yourself refuge here. Grasp these sacred seconds and call your soul your own.
I think all that's left is the song and the banjolele, really.
Unbelievable one.
This is the banjolele.
A banjolele, is it?
It's a cross between a banjo and a lele.
A portmanteau instrument.
Portmanteau word. Yeah. They're magnificent instruments, actually. Indestructible. You just have to tune it once with a key and it just stays in tune. It's amazing. Throw it into your suitcase and take it anywhere. It just sounds like smiling.
Beautiful one.
Yes. There is a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though we keep with the darkness and strife, the sunny side we also may view. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help you every day. It will lighten all the way. If we keep on the sunny side of life. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Up.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
It's always time to sing Jingle Bells.
Oh.
But I think
So
you're,
excited.
I think
Excited.
we're heading into
Mar
our
Ockle
closing
story.
time. Nora, will you take us off?
Yeah.
Will you take us out?
Mar Ockle story. Yeah. So I'm the midwife to birth us all out into the new world now. And so thank you for blessing this Dámh Imeall with your presence. And so I want to invite you into that space of blessing, now beannacht, as we'd say in Ireland. Because the act of blessing is so powerful. We're very aware of it in Ireland. Blessing ourselves, first of all, which is very much from the Christian tradition, but of course adapted from a much older Kabbalistic tradition of protecting yourself. And so blessing each other, blessing ourselves and then blessing each other, it's so powerful at this particular time because it's a symbol of healing, of transformation, of transfiguration. And so when we bless somebody there, which we'll do now, there's a presence, a third presence in that. And that's the presence of the divine, whatever you'll call that divine, in between us. And so it's almost as if a blessing is, I always think of a blessing as being both horizontal and vertical. Because it's horizontal in that it's going between you and me, but it's also vertical in that it's joining heaven with us in that very act of blessing. So I want you to extend your hands now, whatever is comfortable for you, to extend your hands now, that we may bless each other. We may bless the space between us, to invite in that presence of the divine. And so I'll say a little blessing, but you can say it after me too. May God bless and keep you.
May God bless and keep you.
And of course, when I say God, you can replace that, if you like, with love or one, as one of our people too. So may God bless and keep you.
May God bless and keep you.
May love transform and transfigure.
May love transform and transfigure
all that is cold and negative in your heart.
all that is cold and negative in your heart.
May God be with us in our isolation.
May God be with us in our isolation.
And may we experience each precious moment.
And may we experience each precious moment
of our life's journey.
Of our life's journey.
As a great sacred gift.
As a great sacred gift.
Of risk and wonder.
Of risk and wonder.
The Lord go with you and keep you. And I have a little blessing now for you in song as we go. Lads, you haven't heard this before. I've just learnt it, especially for you. May your day be filled with blessings as the sun always lights up the sky. May you always have the courage to spread your wings and fly. May you have a friendly greeting for those you meet along life's way. And until we meet again, my soul renews you. And let eternal light shine forth. Let all our hearts be entwined. Come, let the light of life burn bright in a heaven and now on earth. May the joy flow deep within you, and honest be the hearts of those you love. May your gentle hand be opened with blessings from above. May your passage be a safe one as you journey on life's way. And until we meet again, my soul renews you. And let eternal light shine forth. Let all our hearts be entwined. Come, let the light of life burn bright in heaven and now on earth. And until we meet again, and until we meet again, and until we meet again, maybe next week at Easter, in heaven above.
Wonderful, Noreen. Thank you.
God bless you all. And God bless my two boys. I so love you and I so miss.
We miss you, Noreen, too. Yeah, I know. This has been
We
great.
should be
Thanks,
together.
everybody.
And so, but it's the same for everybody. Gail Finch, Gail Gachtin, my story, everybody's story. Yeah. And God bless you all, safe as you go. And let us hold each other in prayer. Prayer, you know, in the widest sense, being our essence. As Tyre, I'll leave you just with Tyre de Chardin's definition. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience.
We have to blow out our candles, Noreen.
Oh, you're right. I was forgetting because I didn't want to be blowing out this candle anyway.
I'll play us out on a few little songs, and I'll send around an email to everyone, maybe this evening or tomorrow, and I'll put up a link to the page about Easter with a little description about what we'll do around Easter, and please join us. We will extend a special offer to our graduates of the first Dámh Imeall here, and
we'll get the show notes. We'll get the notes from today's show up as soon as we can.
As soon as we can.
And so, Oni, would you be able to troll up, maybe lead kindly light?
I will.
As we blow out our candle. sending all our love all over the world and to each other as we, for the time being, so we can breathe in again into the depths of our hearts, and now out from our hearts through our igniting our extinguishing of the candle to his heart.
Lead kindly light amid the encircling gloom. Lead Dámh Imeall. The night is dark and I am far from home. Lead Dámh Imeall. Keep thou my feet, I do not ask to see the distant sea. One step enough for me. I was not ever thus, nor prayed that thou shouldst lead me on. I loved to choose and see my path, but now lead thou me on. I love the garish day and sight of fear, where I ruled my will. Remember not past years. So long thine arm hath blessed me, sure it still will lead me on. O'er moor and fen, o'er crag and torrent, till the night is gone. And with the morn, those angel faces smile, which I have loved long since and lost awhile. Lead kindly light. Caminus adebat, septis consolebat, et sanctitui Domine in medio savebat. Ananias dicebat, Sanctus Deus. Azarias sollebat, Sanctus fortis. Misael grava voce dicebat, Sanctus et immortalis miserere nobis. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sic ut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Caminus adebat, septis consolebat, et sanctitui Domine in medio salebat. Ananias dicebat, Sanctus soul.